You're going to like this one, Jarvis. Was this movie a critical hit?
I think it has.
Everybody groan in the comments collectively right now.
I don't think we have to tell them, right? I'm sure they're used to groaning in the comments.
Yeah, I know.
From behind their screens, watching us.
That's what I'm going to start putting every time in the comments.
Yeah. every time I start smiling and waiting to speak, they know that some.
Whenever you see Jarvis get a little twinkle in his eye, and then he goes,
that's how you know.
That's how you know.
Prepare yourself. Were you prepared for this movie?
No.
I
actually, you do your little intro and then we can talk about things. We've been talking for like 15 minutes over here.
We have. Welcome to Full Time Movie Fans, or welcome back. I am the host of Full Time Movie Fans, a host. Jarvis, you can call me Jarvis. That is what people call me. That is my no name. And then this is
Dragnor.
Yeah.
Son of Ragnarok.
Yeah. Second host of Full Time Movie Fans.
My wife's cringing over there.
I'm sure that also happens.
happens
a lot though too. Just like our viewers just groaning in the comments and behind their phones.
Give us your D&D name in the comments. I almost went back to when I was telling everybody to give us their addresses and stuff, but I should probably not continue that one.
Yeah. This was, you know what, actually my mind was thinking about the other movie this whole time. Even though you told me right at the beginning, it is kind of late.
It is kind of late.
I didn't get a Red Bull.
Yeah, and I wasn't working today, but she's been working. Jarvis just had a week off. I have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, week off now. First day back at work tomorrow.
Yeah, which is like
if you
working.
If you guys want to help us not have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, right now, hey, this is my plea. Please.
Like, subscribe. You know what I mean? Like, share with your friends and family if they like movies, or even if they don't, because one of the guys we know literally put it on and was just putting views on the videos for us.
Yeah.
And he had it on repeat. And
left this.
Yeah, his dad was leaving for work in the morning, and his dad was just started watching us for like 20 minutes.
It's pretty cool.
I was like, who are these guys? I really actually like this. And
yeah.
It kind of made me feel good.
And fun little thing that I haven't told Jarvis yet is that we're working on season 3 with a new intro song, custom made.
Guys,
new set.
That's exciting. Mm-hmm. So to get into this, obviously you know what movie we're talking about. This is Dungeons and Dragons.
Honor Amongst Thieves.
Yes.
This is not the first Dungeons and Dragons movie.
No.
This is not even close to the first movie about Dungeons and Dragons.
Nope, not even a little bit.
So we're actually going to hijack this entire review, and I'm going to talk about that movie that was made as like a Christian propaganda movie, talking about how Dungeons and Dragons and specifically weed will turn you to Satan.
Just what you guys wanted.
This is what you asked for. This is what you asked for. Remember, when you want us to talk about things.
This one, actually, I do know because the person who requested this, I see him every week several times.
An actual person.
Yeah, a person that I know who subscribed requested that we do Dungeons and Dragons. So here we are, buddy. We're doing Dungeons and Dragons just for you.
What was your first impression, Jarvis?
Man, I actually did watch this in theaters. I don't know if you did.
I think we watched it together.
Did we?
Yeah.
Maybe.
In theaters.
I'm not quite sure, but I do remember seeing it in the theaters, and I do remember just having a really good time. Like, this is, for me, it's one of those movies that by no means is this like changing the movie landscape at all, but it's just a good, fun, entertaining movie. If you just want to eat some popcorn and be entertained, this is a great movie for it. The characters are great. They're funny. The story's good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it feels like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stuff that happens and people that you meet.
Yeah. So overall, yeah, man, my first impression was yes, I will. Yeah, Yes, you should. This is a
My
good
first
movie.
impression is yes.
Yes, this is a good. I had a good time, man. That's all there is to it. I had a really good time watching this movie. And you?
Oh, yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, because I feel like when it comes to like dissecting movies, you care a little bit more about the insides.
Well, they did a lot of
outsides.
like.
Do you have some interesting stuff for us?
Yeah, they
Let's
did a
move.
lot of fun, like all the fight scenes. Every character in the fight scenes did something every 2 seconds. So 6 seconds. 6 seconds is an action in Dungeons and Dragons, and so they made sure to every time that they do something, it's like they do it in a specific order, and each person does something for a specific amount of time.
Interesting.
And so yeah, they really played out the actions. So like attention to detail and stuff like that's always super cool. And apparently the actors got to play their characters in a completely different campaign beforehand.
Nice.
One of them got to change their character a bit, and because he was like
in the outside game or in
the movie because of
game?
the outside game, because he was like, I actually want a dual class if that's cool. And they were like, yeah, that sounds neat. So I don't remember the character's name. He's the mage.
Oh yeah, the perfect dude,
Yeah.
the handsome, never loses guy.
No, you're thinking of Paladin.
Oh,
The hold on, I have it up. Yeah, the nerdy guy.
oh, is that the? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Simon.
The helm.
Yes, Simon.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Simon changed his character up a bit, which is kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
That they took it so seriously to the point where the people playing the characters actually got to influence their character.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I have a question for you. How did you feel leading up to the movie? Like, did you see trailers and?
No, I had nothing. I knew nothing.
What were your expectations? Like, what were the? Were they high, low? Or you just kind of like.
I always have really low expectation for game movies because they're always bad.
Yeah, almost always.
Anytime that they're like decent, watchable, good, I'm like, yes, finally something great. Like the Sonic movies, I like those.
You're gonna do that.
She keeps catching us yawning.
Yeah,
apparently,
I
I keep missing it because I'm focused talking
over.
over here.
Yeah.
She does that.
You know what? And I was like, oh, the camera's on him. Maybe I can get away with
Our
this sound
technical
real quick.
directors are very mean to us.
She's a troll. If she was in Dungeons and
I've been trying to figure out how to
Well, she'd be
replace
a
her, but she's so important.
Permanent fixture.
It's she goes off of my YouTube directing style, which is like I'll record something and then I'll specifically edit it to make fun of myself.
Yeah.
And she just does it live.
We have fun here.
Yeah.
Or we try.
We aren't serious.
Yeah. Because I think I had the same as you. I was like,
Yeah,
it
might be good. Who knows?
Things with the trailers looked really good, but it was like, they have a tendency to like show all the best parts, and the rest of it's all just like Borderlands. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, ugh. That's a movie that we did that you should go check out. Our review on that one. Don't watch the movie though, because you'll be wasting your time. But that's a movie about a game that was really horrible.
I love Borderlands. Do you know that the new Joker movie has a worse rating than Borderlands?
I did see that. I don't know if that's accurate, but I do know that I did not like the second Joker movie at all.
Did you fall asleep in it?
No, I didn't. But my friend Clint, who's a real person, we watched it together, and it was one of those things afterwards. I was like, "Yo, did I miss something here?" Because this was not a good.
You're not in on the joke. You're not in on the joke. Yeah,
the joke was on me.
Yeah, you are the Joker.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate it.
That was the whole joke.
Yeah, but this movie was not a joke.
No, this one was good.
It had jokes in it.
If you want
Good
me to
ones.
watch Joker 2, put it in the comments.
You still haven't watched it yet?
No.
All right, we'll talk about this after. Let's go off.
There's other movies that we need to go see too. I don't know which one. I can't remember. We need to go see the second Beetlejuice.
Yeah. So we've got a movie about a game, That's
but not a
actually-
video game.
Not a video game.
A board game.
A board game.
Tabletop game, rather.
Yeah. And yeah, I think expectations were. I'm sure most people had low expectations, and were pleasantly surprised. As
Yeah, it was very fun. It's not like a game changer for
It's not super deep
for
it's
movies.
It's not super deep.
It's very fun.
There were no.
It gives you know what it does. It gives a
Yeah,
really
sure.
good impression of what playing the game is like.
Oh, see, I've never played, so I don't know.
But
I know
now you know,
I know a little bit because I watched the movie.
and you know that you would at least have an enjoyable time playing it if
Maybe.
you like the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Except
I
the
might.
combat takes a lot longer than it does in the movies.
Yeah.
It's very like, okay, so I'm gonna do this. And then you roll for it?
I use my arm to reach for my blade, and then you roll for it. In case you missed.
Almost, yeah,
In case
almost
you
like
miss
that.
your blade like
Yeah.
this. Just
So
rolled
you
a-
missed
rolled a
the
one.
athletics check to get your sword in time.
I fumbled my blade.
You fumbled your blade.
Fell on the ground. Reaching to pick it up. Roll again.
But then if you have a good DM, they'll be like, "Oh, you missed your blade and it fell to the ground, and because you rolled like a 6 instead of a 1, it chopped one of your enemy's toes off."
Nice.
See, so that's a fun way to fail.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you got to get a good DM.
Yeah.
That's creative. That it's not like, "Oop, you rolled a 1," which means you fell and died, and you're out for the entire rest of the game.
Speaking of DMs, you should hit us in our DMs, which
Don't exist on YouTube anymore.
yeah, they don't. But in the comments, comments are the new DMs.
Get in the comments,
comments.
and tell me what that's a reference to.
Yeah, and
Because Jarvis still doesn't know, and
yeah,
I do it a lot.
don't. I really don't.
You'd like it,
I'm sure.
just like this
Sure.
movie. We're getting off track a lot. Anyways, movie. I like this movie.
Yeah, let's.
It's a good movie.
I feel like there's a pretty good cast.
Yeah, Chris Pine's cool.
Chris Pine, one of the Hollywood Chris's, very handsome fella.
I like most movies he's in.
Yeah. Who else
We got
do we have?
Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Renee Jean Page.
Which one is that? Oh,
You're
that's
married.
Is that the Drew?
Justice
Is
Smith.
that the perfect guy? Yeah. He's
Sophia Lillis, who I feel like she continues to get parts that don't show her skill, except for both of the It movies. Oh, and Asteroid City, yeah.
Oh, Asteroid City is a good one. I watched
Yeah.
that,
And
a few months ago.
other than that, she keeps on getting ones that are like, hey, do you want to be in like a subpar movie where you can't really do much?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened in this one too, I feel like.
Who else did we have?
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Grew up watching his rom-coms.
Yeah, I love him in
The one with Sandra Bullock.
Wonka. I love him in Wonka
Oh,
as the Oompa Loompa.
no.
We got Chloe Coleman, Daisy Head, Kyle Hickston, Spencer Wilding. I mean, there's just we just keep going. There's a bunch of people
Yeah.
that I vaguely know most of their names.
Yeah. Very so pretty good cast.
Yeah,
I would say the actors are very good. Michelle Rodriguez, she was in I don't know how many they have now, 15 Fast and the Furious movies or something like that.
yeah, 246 or something like that.
Yeah, she wasn't in 2 of them. I don't think
Dominic
she was in.
Toretto's still trying to figure out what family means.
Yeah, I think he knows, but it's
a feeling.
Family is a broad net that he casts.
It's a feeling.
If-
Yeah, he just needs to
yeah.
clarify.
Yeah. So
About 400 chapters of the Fast and Furious series ago, he
I
forgot
stopped.
what it
I
was.
stopped watching several movies ago. I just couldn't do it anymore.
I don't think I've watched a single Fast and Furious movie in my life.
1 through 3 are okay. I think 5 was pretty decent, but I don't know.
It'll come back around.
Yeah. Speaking of coming back around, Dungeons and Dragons came back around and surprised the heck out of all of us.
Do I
with
need to
with
just-
a great story?
Do I just need to start reading off this?
Our heroes.
Look, I watched this when it came out. I've been watching a lot of movies recently. Jarvis will butt in when he remembers cool things that I will also vaguely remember while reading this. But I'm going to read this time.
All I just remember.
You expect a lot from me.
I just remember from the beginning is Jarnathan.
Jarnathan. Yeah. I do remember Jordan. So this is from the Wikipedia page because it's the easiest one I could find access to that I could trust most of. Trust Wikipedia. It tells you the truth. This is not a sponsorship. Prior to imprisonment, Bard Edgin Darvis, jeez, served as the
It's going to be a
Harpers.
rough one with names.
Yeah.
This was going to be a rough journey.
An order of peacekeepers until his wife was killed by disciples of a red wizard he arrested. Accompanied by a barbarian Holga Kilgore, easier name, of the Kilgore family.
Yes.
Edgin, I'm sorry, Edgin Darvis is awful.
Darvis. He sounds like he might be like my cousin.
It's like if somebody mashed
Darvis
your name
Jarvis.
together to like be quirky.
Yeah.
Like, how's it going, Darvis? And then you go, hey man, you don't like seeing that person because they call you Darvis.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, that's...
Like when people call me Mike, I can't stand it. It's when somebody calls you, yeah, Civil War.
Wow.
Yeah. Not
That's
anybody
actually-
in specific. Not any bald people at the shop or anything. Anyways, Edgin attempted to make a new life for himself and his daughter Kira by turning to theft, as you do. Teaming with amateur sorcerer Simon, I'm not going to say his last name because I can't say it, rogue con artist Forge Fitzwilliam, and Forge's mysterious acquaintance Sophina. While raiding a Harper stronghold, Edgin attempts to steal a tablet of reawakening to resurrect his wife, but he and Holga are captured through their accomplice's escape. After 2 years' imprisonment in Arctic Revel's End, the pair, unaware that they have been pardoned, escape to Neverwinter and learn Forge has become lord there and its prior lord has been mysteriously incapacitated.
This is where I interject because the whole... them giving he's narrating the backstory, all this stuff about his wife,
Yeah.
and he keeps stopping and mentioning Jarnathan. Where's Jarnathan? We need Jarnathan, and I think this is very important because he's a bird person, with wings that can fly.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing was they weren't convinced that they were going to be able to that they were going to be let go or pardoned early, and so the whole plan was they were just going to tackle Jarnathan, the bird person, out of the window and force him to fly them to safety.
Yeah.
Because he has wings, which
is a good plan.
As soon as he showed up,
Solid plan.
They sure did that. They poor Jarnathan, he was a rough landing for him.
I hate all of these names. I forgot how much these names were just like almost names, and they're not.
Yeah.
He's been taking care of Kira, the Forge, who is currently the Lord of Neverwinter.
And this is Hugh Grant's character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the only one that made it out of the time thing with the red wizard lady with her. They made it out. Everybody else got trapped.
Yep. And he's definitely not working with her. That's a common thing, and that's a common thing in Dungeons and Dragons too, where
People don't work with each other on a regular basis.
where you like are introduced to your enemy immediately, and you're like, oh, somebody's betrayed everybody. That's crazy. It's a common trope.
Gotcha. Okay.
It
I'll
is
take your word
revealed
for it.
that Sophina is a red wizard, and together they orchestrated Edgin and Holga's capture. Sophina attempts to execute Edgin and Holga, but they escape and decide to rob Forge's vault and bring Kira home during the upcoming High Sun Games, needing the tablet to prove their innocence to Kira and resurrect Edgin's wife.
Yeah, there's a lot of shenanigans,
There's a lot of shenanigans
that are happening. So I think that, again, to interject,
I feel like we missed like a good chunk of the movie in this explanation.
yeah,
Because
well,
it's like the second half of the movie, I think. The first half is like them going to find a bunch of stuff before they show up to
well, it's the
Neverwinter.
Avengers Assemble part where they're
Yeah.
just getting the team together, and through that they have some shenanigans. But I think one of the funny parts is that Simon, our mage character, he actually has some kind of, I forget what it is, some kind of artifact that lets him bring people back to the dead from the dead, and you can ask them 3 questions, and which that was a whole funny bit.
That was a whole funny bit.
That was funny.
Where they continued to keep asking people
yeah
over
like,
and over, and then they just...
yeah, And I like when they got to the end, they got their answer on the first question. So he had to ask random questions so that he could go back to wrestling. Like, what's your favorite color?
Which is
what's your
Dungeons
favorite
and Dragons
food?
shenanigans.
Yeah. So that's cool. There actually is a whole dungeon and a whole dragon. Actually, you could say
that happens before all of this, I think, right?
Because it was big enough.
Doesn't that happen all before whatever I was just saying?
I
feel like it does.
No, I don't think so, because you were talking about raiding the stockpile.
Yeah.
So like, there's a whole part where they meet Mr. Perfect, druid guy, because that's where the last dead guy was like, oh, you need this helm that will break through this impenetrable
so they have
force
to go find
field.
the helm. Yeah,
they find the guy who knows where it is, the perfect dude,
the paladin.
The paladin, and he takes them into the dungeon. Check mark off the name dungeon.
And there's a dragon in there.
Yeah, and they go and they're like, oh, here's this mystical helm. So I think, like, when we say that the movie is not very deep, like, it's, oh, you need to find the thing that allows you to do the thing so you can do the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of movies do that. And so it's not groundbreaking in that sense.
And the whole thing with Dungeons and Dragons is that the story is like a side character.
Yeah.
And the characters are the ones that get to actually have development. And so that, again, that tracks here. People go through a bunch of shenanigans and then, like, they learn about themselves.
Yeah, is there development for our characters in this dungeon?
I don't think in the dungeon specifically, but
Simon,
through the rest of the story, yeah.
Simon
gains self-confidence.
Yeah, a little bit. He does some things.
And Edgin learns that he's not a bad guy.
Oh, yeah. It's like, dude, anytime someone says bad guy, I always think about...
just because you're a bad guy does not make you a bad guy.
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you are a bad guy. I love that. That's one of my favorite movies that we have to do.
Okay. We'll get there. No, we haven't done any Wreck-It Ralph movie.
No. Wreck-It Ralph. We've referenced it.
Yeah, we did the Emoji movie.
Yeah.
Which is basically... Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, worse, Wreck-It Ralph. I told you I had to wash my brain clean of Emoji Movie with Wreck-It Ralph.
That's fair.
But so there's dragons. A lot of people got eaten. Mm-hmm. Some people got burned up. They almost.
Oh yeah, you're skipping, but I'll just skip to where you are. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So they get the helm.
Yeah.
Simon has trouble mastering the helm's power, so they decide to use the staff to enter the vault during the games.
Well,
I don't know what the staff is.
Isn't Simon a part of some, like, family of, like, strong wizards and stuff too?
He learns that later. You're skipping ahead again.
Well, he knew.
He's having a hard time using the helm, and then later on he actually attunes to the helmet and then learns that he's part of.
Oh, I thought that was directly after the dungeon when they're on the beach where he starts trying to do that. What's his name? Trying to figure out a plan, and he's like, "Oh, master the helmet." And he keeps trying and trying. You know what I'm saying? I think that's directly after the dungeon. So
yeah, they do just skip over that. Yeah.
So
Simon learns that he's a cool guy.
Related, or he's related to cool guys.
But apparently it has no bearing on the story, so we're gonna skip past it. I trust Wikipedia. Quote me on it. So Simon and Holga infiltrate the vault to find an empty room except for a magical trap. Sophina, disguised as Kira, subdues Edgin, which is just a really short sentence for tricks him to trap him. We have not described who Kira is. Yeah, it said at the beginning that Kira is Edgin's daughter. Okay, so Kira is important because she's Edgin's daughter, and Forge wants the current Lord of Neverwinter wants his daughter for something I don't remember. For bragging rights, I guess.
I think blackmail token. He's like, hey, I've got your daughter, so you got to do. I think it's like
probably.
Yeah, it's like
You're
subtle,
on my side now.
Subtle kidnapping to where he's like, hey, I got a hostage here.
We all love subtle kidnapping.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the group is captured and then forced to participate in the games. But then they escape the stadium. There's more shenanigans.
These are like gladiator games. It feels like, but with magic and
in dungeons and dragons.
Mazes. I don't know if there was any dragons, but there was some creepy looking like panther.
Instead of Dungeons and Dragons, it's stadiums and jellies.
Oh yeah, jellies. They do that. They did that in Onward. Is that Onward with the Pixar movie?
Yes.
Yeah, they did that with the jelly that just dissolves everything.
Yeah, which is another Dungeons and Dragons staple.
Yeah.
Those are like one of the first things that you possibly encounter in a dungeon just because they are there.
Are there any glorbs there? Or glarbs, I mean?
Sure.
Because they can always be found.
Yeah, glarb can always be found. The group steals a boat after escaping and rescue Kira from Forge, who has threatened Kira's life. They really are just glossing over a bunch of the stuff, huh?
So much.
It's very like
all the cool
this
fun
next
stuff.
thing happens.
Yeah, the cool fun stuff.
Instead of being like, yeah, they did some sick flips and really cool stuff, and then they attacked this monster bear thing, and then like did a fireball thing. They're just like, this person was defeated.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
they fought and won.
I mean, I think it's important to talk about one of the members of the crew. What is she? Is she like some kind of?
She's a druid.
Druid.
What she is?
A
tiefling druid. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're introduced to her as like this big owl creature, the owl bear.
Owl bear.
That is very scary. Looks very strong.
It's an owl bear.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be. She turns into a deer at one point. You know, she's very near and dear, at least to Simon's heart. And so she can transform into things. Come on, that was like, I feel like the first one. Okay, well maybe the second. I don't know who's counting anyways, but in the comments if you're counting. And then what's some other cool stuff? I mean, Simon, he's apparently not very good at magic at all.
But he's got like
potential
little level 1 spells that he can like toss out and they work.
I mean,
for
he
the situation.
reversed gravity when they first find him, which was kind of cool. But he was like, "Oh, I was just stressed out."
Yeah.
I think like
he's got performance anxiety.
Yeah, our main character, Chris Pine, Edgin, comes up with the ideas. He's the idea man. I think it was his idea to put the portal on the painting.
Yeah.
So that they could portal into the impenetrable force field.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting stuff that I think was missed.
It's a lot of fun shenanigans and hijinks.
Yes.
So they get out and save Kira, which is pretty cool. And then they escape, and the group realizes Sophina organized the games to draw a crowd to turn them into a massive undead army.
Yeah.
Using the curse that destroyed Thay. Yeah. Great name drop in here, Wikipedia.
Yeah, so we need to talk about this because we see early on that the what's her name?
Sophina?
Yeah, Sophina is definitely just a puppet of someone who is a lot more shadowy and menacing.
Yeah, and has a
skull
plan
for a head, I think.
And she has a different plan from everybody else.
Yeah, and because he advises her from the shadows on what to do. She's beholden to him, and he's like...
we don't really know why.
No, we don't know who this shady character is. He sounds scary and powerful, and Safina's scared of him. Mm-hmm. So, and that's their plan is they are using, what's his face to bring Forge. A bunch of people to basically just be sacrifices. They're gonna suck their souls.
But Forge doesn't know that.
Yeah, they're gonna suck their souls. Basically, he just thinks he's just gonna continue to get rich and
she's just doing a classic demon sacrifice.
Yeah,
you suck the souls out of a bunch of people.
Yeah, because they're all there at once. Rich people, poor people alike. They're just all gonna get their souls sucked.
And the group realizes it, and they steal a hot air balloon, and then use the weird portal magic to to sprinkle gold all around the outside of the stadium to get him out of there.
Oh yeah, that was it. But see, that's another thing that they set up before too, because he made a deal with Mr. Handsome, Mr. Perfect,
Forge. Forge. Oh no.
Forge.
The Paladin. What's his name?
Mr. Paladin. Mr. Perfect.
His name's Zinc.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect Paladin. He makes a deal with him. He's like, as long as you give all the treasure to the peoples, then you can,
that won't take you
have
back
your journey
in.
blessed.
Yeah.
And so he ends up doing that, but to save them, to get all the people out of the soul-sucking arena.
And it works. And it works, and it makes Sofina very angry.
Yeah, she doesn't like that very much.
Yeah, and so this is where the whole group actually comes together to stop one red mage.
Well, I think, and an important thing to also note is that he basically, when he defeated Forge and convinced Kira, hey, I'm not a bad dad, which that's the thing that was happening, is Forge was trying to be like, oh, he's a bad dad, he left you. He just didn't want you to bother him as he tried to get rich. And that's the lie he told Kira, which we have now described is Edgin's daughter.
Edgin Darvis.
Mr. Darvis.
Kira Darvis.
Yeah, and Kira Darvis is the daughter. And she believed, because Forge's lie, that he was just a greedy little thief that just wanted to be rich and didn't love her at all, and that's not true. He loved her very much and wanted to bring his family back. And so she finds that out abruptly when Forge puts a knife through her throat.
Yeah.
And is like, no, you can't have this. Because he's like, hey, look, daughter, I have daughter Darvis. I have the thing that I said that I was getting to bring mom back so we could have our family.
Yeah.
Because it was the only thing in the whole entire universe that could do so. And so he got it. And he was going to do the thing. And then he was like, oh, shoot, all those people are going to die. And he's like, I can't allow that to happen because I'm a good person.
Yeah. So so they do that. And then Sofina gets very angry and starts attacking the group. Simon uses some time magic.
Well, they all do their things in order, like you said.
Yeah. Simon does time magic to stop. Well, they fight and they start losing. Yeah. And then they go, we have a concept of a plan. And then they put it into action.
Yeah. And doesn't Simon have an epiphany moment somewhere around this time?
Yeah.
Where he confronts his forefather in the helmet world.
His avatar moment.
Yeah, and he's just like, no, actually, I am strong and I can do this, and you're a poopy meanie head.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, you passed.
Stops time, which is overpowered. And then Kira uses an invisibility pendant that she's had this whole time that was also slightly mentioned. It worked better in the story, I promise. To go sneak an anti-magic bracelet onto Sofina so that Doric, which is she's the druid, goes into owlbear form and just starts beating the fuck out of her.
Yeah, they have a pretty epic fight. I mean, Simon has some good moments.
But then so Sofina is attacked by Doric in owlbear form and then killed by falling debris. But then Holga is fatally injured. And then Edgin has to have his moment where he's like, so my wife's dead, but this person who has been with me on this whole journey is also dying.
Yeah, and it's by something that's
my fault.
Well, yes, but also completely fatal, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, except for the one thing that they have.
Yeah,
that they all risked their lives to get. And so he used the tablet on her instead, and they all have a loving, happy family. And Doric,
platonically,
our druid,
because he's not him and Olga are not attracted to each other at all.
Yeah, but
so
Doric and Simon.
Thank goodness, because we'd have to
Doric and Simon. And then restored, the old Lord of Neverwinter declares the team of heroes of the realm, and Zank, the paladin, sends Forge to Revel's End, where he fails to escape, as Edgin and Holga did when his pardon is denied. So it's what you were talking about, where they get what's his face, Jonathan. He tries to attack Jonathan out the window, and it fails because
fool me once.
Yeah, fool me once.
Jonathan was like, push me out a window once.
Yeah,
Shame
ain't happening
on you.
again.
Push me out a window twice, it ain't happening.
Yeah,
I think that's how the saying goes.
So that's Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah, that was very truncated. I think that there's a lot of
Thank you, Wikipedia, for the zero substance version
yeah
of this plot.
Yeah, because I think if you haven't watched this movie and you've watching so far, you'd be like, it doesn't sound like a movie I want to watch. And you do, because it's all there's so, like, even Simon's trying to do the magic where he's making that projection of Edgin Darvis, Mr. Darvis. Mr. Darvis is my father.
Mr. Darvis is your father, yeah.
No, but and then his face starts distorting, and it's because he literally was inconvenienced by his foot being stuck. But yeah, I think that it's a good story. Again, we talked about how it's not groundbreaking or anything, but it's an entertaining movie.
Does it make you want to play Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I am too stuck on. I can't afford to play any other games, really.
It's really funny you say that, because Dungeons and Dragons it's all imagination.
Imagination.
Like we have the little essentials kit over there, and all it does is give you like a breakdown of the rules. That's all it really does. And it gives you like a guideline for a story if you
know
want
what
to use
they say. Time is money. And so if it's not money, it's time that I don't have.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've been around the world enough to know about it a little bit.
This is just Jarvis's long-winded way of saying he doesn't want to play, which is okay.
I mean, if the situation is right and, everything aligns, in such a way that...
Are you too cool for it?
I don't think I'm too cool for it.
Are you not cool enough for it?
It just doesn't appeal to me as much as the other game that I'm into right now, which is Pokemon.
Wow,
you have
that was brave of you.
I'm a Pokemon nerd.
That was brave of you to say.
Put it in the comments.
I'm not.
Yeah, he's not.
I'm just kidding. It's such a lie.
But that takes up so much of my time and money, I think.
I co-own the card shop that Jarvis got addicted in.
Yeah, dude. You should.
There are cards on the wall all over the place, except right here. This is the movie wall.
Yeah. Well, the person that you own the shop with made a mistake and showed me how much I spent there one time, and I was like, this is not okay.
You want me to show you mine?
I was dude, at one point, a little bit after the shop had opened, I was the second highest spender there behind Josh.
Behind me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've always been the first highest spender.
Oh.
So no matter how much you've spent, just remember that. Like this is how bad it is. And I'm saying this on here, it's not a big deal. I'm not saying numbers, but I've spent so much at my own card shop that I probably haven't spent more than like $20 in the past 4 months, and I'm still the person who has spent the most at the card shop.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So I say all that to say that I don't feel like I can afford time-wise or money-wise. Literally anything. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But I always have time for movies, I think, and it's just something that I love so much. So Dungeons and Dragons, the cast that they assembled, just the characters are just fun and unique, and I just enjoyed watching them work together on this crazy journey they were on.
Well,
yeah,
very nice of you.
Yeah.
So if people were like, "Hey, Jarvis, come play Dungeons and Dragons with us," you'd rather like watch them from a distance and enjoy the story.
To be honest with you, that's a weird thing about me is, yes, I might be more interested in just watching.
You don't want to be the hero. You want to absorb the story.
Yes,
that's fine.
Yeah, I've always been
that checks out, to be honest.
Yeah, I stopped playing video games like when I left for college.
Yeah.
Left home for college. the most interactions. I mean, like I know I'm aware enough of the realm of video games as to what's happening because I watch people play video games, but it's not something that I need to be a part of.
Which is what Jarvis is going to start doing on Full-Time Video Game Fans, which is like a Let's Play channel, but instead of Let's Play, it's a Let's Watch channel, and it's Jarvis commentating over somebody else.
Yeah, you're going to submit your videos of you playing, and I will react to them.
It's so dumb, but I love it. But the way it's recorded is Jarvis is watching it on his phone actively like this.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, nice, that's crazy.
Yeah,
what's going on with this story?
Yeah, we're full of great ideas for future projects that help us out with.
Yeah,
like and subscribe and share.
It's our new business venture, full-time idea fans LLC.
Hey, I'm never afraid to give my opinion about anything.
Yeah,
that's asked about.
Who are you voting for? I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's just not a smart thing to do. But
what's your least favorite religion?
Oh boy, it's a list. No, but
who's your least favorite Hollywood Chris? All of them.
I love
all of them.
I love all the Chris's and I love all the Ryans.
I love all the Chris's, but Hemsworth the least. I'm just kidding.
No, Hemsworth is. I do like Hemsworth.
I also like Chris Hemsworth. Honestly, the Hollywood Chris's are all pretty solid, I think.
Yeah. Actually,
there's a reason they keep getting jobs.
I really do like Chris Pratt. I think he's hilarious.
I don't think it's controversial. I feel like people like to make fun of him a lot more, like try to get on his case a lot. He has a little bit of problematic stuff. Yeah, but his problematic stuff is like the weird Hollywood church that he goes to, and that's the one that I saw. And he was like, yeah, I wasn't aware of the weird stuff. We only really go there because it's like a safe place for like celebrities to go to, which I feel like is an okay reason. But people are going to judge. People are going to judge regardless.
People are just going to be judging.
Look, in an industry where we've got like Harvey Weinstein and a bunch of other like awful people, that's the thing you're going to get on him for.
No.
Come on, I get holding people accountable for their actions, but come on.
Yeah, there's a certain line when it comes to associations.
Yeah,
some of them are legit. You have to. Yeah.
We're being told to change the topic.
Yeah.
So Jarvis, out of all of the races in the world,
the Amazing Race is my favorite one. It's my favorite race.
I'm so sorry they ended it.
Yeah. Well, all good things come to an end, just like this movie, as will this review.
All
good things come to an end.
Look, is it a good podcast if we don't get slightly controversial on it? Let's be real. She said yes.
We need something for the people to get mad at in the comments about.
Yeah. They haven't found him yet.
Yeah.
No one said anything. Well, the Star Wars ones.
Okay, so here's what I want to ask you. Did you personally take this movie as it is just a fun, entertaining thing, or did you have some problems with it? Because I feel like...
Yeah. Okay, so you have to understand the way that my brain works with movies is that I usually try to go into the movie trying to feel out what it thinks it is, right? And so if it's like a really fun, like funny movie that's absolutely trying its best in all of the wrong ways to be like a game changer for movies, I'm gonna clown on it for failing. But this movie was like, yeah, it's a movie about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that, and it's going to do its best at that. But if it were like, we're going to change how storytelling works, and that's in this movie,
that's
and
how
we're
they
gonna
try to set it up.
Yeah, it's like The Room with Tommy Wiseau, where he's like, I'm not just making a movie about it. I'm making a movie about life. I'm making a movie about a universal theme of betrayal and how no matter how good and perfect you are, life will mess with you. It's like, okay, dude, you you literally walk in and go, I did not hit her. I did not do it. It's bullshit. I did not do it.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. And that's your life-changing, movie-changing thing, is that you're going to be a weird Transylvanian American man.
he still carved out a little area for himself in the movie world.
Yeah.
And so I think he successfully or failed successfully. Just like when I tried to reach for my sword and I fumbled it. But cut off the toe.
That's
how it feels.
Exactly.
That's a perfect illustration for
it's
that.
when you realize that somebody is trying way too hard in all of the wrong ways to do something. It's either endearing or very funny.
Yeah.
And so with people who like make smaller movies that are trying their best and aren't really succeeding at it, I'll look at it and be like, yeah, you know what? I see you. I'll look at it and be like, you know what, they're trying, and it's funny because of that.
Yeah.
If it's like the Emoji Movie, where they spent a lot, like no time, no energy, and a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
It's bad funny for a different reason,
right,
because it's like it's a waste.
But you like those types of things.
Oh yeah,
you really did.
It's the context of it.
Yeah. You know, this movie kind of feels like, maybe to a lesser degree, it feels a little bit to me like the Marvels.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, I mean,
you're along for the ride.
Yeah, but you could trash it if you want to, and you can probably, point out the flaws.
Yeah.
And like, oh, it could have been better if.
But what's the point?
But why?
Yeah.
Because it's just supposed to be a fun, entertaining movie for you. And
Yeah,
that is a movie
I agree
we
with that.
have to review that we did watch.
We did watch that one together, and we both spoilers. We both enjoyed it.
we had a great time.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah, and I think for you guys, if I remember, it came at a good time. I think you guys were having a rough week.
We were having a real rough time.
Yeah, and so
which we will not be talking about on the podcast.
Yeah, so but
let's just say that week was bad.
And the movie helped, and it was fun.
Oh yeah, no, it was very necessary.
There were space kittens, and so it was just very good. And I think this is like that in to a certain degree. Like it's a movie that, man, don't expect like a Quentin Tarantino type depth or anything like that.
Could it have been? Sure.
No, not enough people died for it to be a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They would have to change some stuff. Have a lot more sitting by the campfire talking about their feelings moments.
Yeah, just random.
A long 10-minute monologue about something so completely unrelated to the story, just for that person to die the next scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this is for sure. I think we can get to the point where we actually, how would you rate this? We've got, I think you added one, which I think was good. So we went from don't watch, watch it in theaters, rewatchable, and
own it,
and then own it.
Yeah.
So what is your take on this movie?
I'd say watch it. I don't know if it's rewatchable. There's a lot of like fun little things that you could miss, but that's like if you're like a D&D fan.
Yeah.
You go back and you're like, oh my god, he's got a bag of dice on him.
That was like those guys in the bathroom after the Borderlands where they were like, well, I feel like they got the feel of it. They were like trying
yeah,
to.
They really were. Yeah, where you sit there and you're like, I could see where they could have taken it, and it would have maybe it'd been good if they did it differently. Yeah. I'd say watch it. It's a fun watch. It's worth the watch.
Yeah, for sure. To be honest with you, I have a caveat.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's rewatchable with the caveat. Mm-hmm. And the caveat is it's one of those type of movies that you would likely put on if you absolutely don't know what to watch and you're probably like just cleaning around the house or doing something else. It's good for like you're sitting there occasionally watching it a little bit. You're catching moments here and there, but you're not like, I'm sitting down to watch this movie. The phone's going away, whatever. I think it's one of those ones that you can rewatch.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good description for you're along for the ride, where it's like you could just hop in at any point and still be the same movie.
Yeah, exactly. Because you've seen it and you're not going to miss anything.
Right.
But when you're paying attention, you're going to catch something good that you had a good time
with.
Well,
even if you haven't watched it before, I feel like you could just hop in and out of it and still be like, yeah, okay, this is just what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Because the bearing of the important things of the story are reiterated enough to where you're like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, and again, I feel like a need to just go over the whole story again from the beginning.
Okay. Do you want the Wikipedia article?
No. But what I mean is like we've got a guy who lost his wife. There's grief there. He just wants to bring her back, and in his world, he can with this thing, right? And so, and he wants to get his family back, and of course, the other people that are interfering. That, you know, it's
a classic Fast and Furious plot where they try to bring the family back together just to realize they are the family.
Yeah, exactly. And we have Michelle Rodriguez in there as well.
Yeah, because you do.
She's playing the same character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The tough girl that you don't mess with because
Very true.
She will
we forgot about what's her name? Holga's husband.
Oh,
he was a very small man.
Oh yeah. Small in stature, but not in heart or character.
He's a halfling, I think. And she's
I would say more than a halfling. He's like a 1/3ling.
All right. Let's not get racial here. All right.
Okay. Well, and this is played by Bradley Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising, which is also
she's
cool.
like massive barbarian woman, and he is small halfling man.
Yeah, she's like she woman.
It's like 5 times his height.
Yeah.
And so it's very funny to look
and their
at.
dynamic works because he's just a sweet, caring, loving guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she left her clan, kicked her out for her love for him.
Yeah.
And then he moved on.
And with that, we will also move on
to the middle of the movie, which we'll rehash again. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, man, I definitely enjoyed the movie more than I thought I would when I went to watch it. So good. I had a good experience with it.
Good.
You just need to find out for yourself, guys. Watch it for yourself if you haven't. And tell us what you think in the comments if you did watch it. Right, I think. All right. So I guess we'll wrap things up, guys. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for this review of Dungeons and Dragons. We hope that your day and or night is everything you dreamed it to be and more. And we will catch you on the next review.
Roll for initiative. Hey. You look good over there.
Look real good.
We thought about sharing your kindness with others.
Share the love.
Maybe like the video. Click on that subscribe button. And show your friends.
Yeah, just touch it ever so lightly, that like button. Move over to the subscribe button. Maybe tap your keyboard just a little bit. Leave a comment. Bye.
That's it.